Radio Free Cybertron.
Transformers.
Rewind.
This week on Transformers Rewind, it's 4 warriors come from the sky from the Headmasters dub.
On Earth, the relieving forces on their way to Cybertron met with Decepticon resistance. Vicious fighting broke out between the two sides.
Hang on! You Autobots are a bunch of fools. Don't even think about winning this battle.
Just who do you think you are? Where are you from?
All right, listen up. I'm the ninja consultant for the Decepticons. My name is Six Shot.
Oh, yeah?
Now you know who I am. Look out!
Sneaky. I'll get you.
This is my way of doing things. I never waste my time talking.
4 warriors come out of the sky. Or 4 warriors from the sky. It's a dubbed episode, or it's a Japanese episode, so the name is up, for conjecture as far as how you translate it. But this is specifically the dubbed version, the Omni Productions RTM1 dub of the pilot of Headmasters. So it's kind of hard to do these and not talk about the dub in general because they're so polarizing. I love them. I love them so much. To me, they make the series worth watching, and to me, they make the series approachable. But I'm going to try not to talk about the dub as a concept and really talk about the episode. So this is the pilot episode for Headmasters, and it pretty much set up the mythos for Headmasters as it exists exists as a series. This is basically right after 2010, which is season 3. They didn't have Rebirth, so this is what would have happened in Japan if season 3 went straight into this. This is how they introduced the Headmasters. They're not Nebulons, they're little robots, and they're ancient. They're very ancient, conveniently. So Cup remembers them, and I remember you. I really like this episode. Don, you've been around longer than I have, really. What did you think when you first saw this episode?
When I first saw it, it was raw, but I did not know anything other than the Rebirth and the comic, the 4-part miniseries. And when I saw this, I'm thinking, this is a really interesting take. It's a whole planet of small robots, and they're repurposing the bodies to fight their enemies. And although the animation is not top notch compared to later Japanese series, I enjoy the take on the mythos. It's an easier way for people to get used to the Headmaster concept unless you're a fan of the comic or a fan of Rebirth. Yeah,
it's much more approachable, I think, somehow, than the Nebulon origin of the Headmasters.
Yeah, I actually prefer the Japanese origins where they're an ancient separate, offshoot race.
Sort of like what would become mini-cons to a degree.
Who else? Has everyone else, I assume, had watched this episode already, except for Diecast, probably.
No, this was my first.
So your first watching, so your first viewing. So, what did you think? What did you think as a concept?
I liked it. I really love Headmasters in general. So, for this episode, it I could tell they were setting it up, but they were introducing the characters, and it just, I don't know, I really liked the episode. And I'm having a hard time exactly remembering what happened in the episode, but I think that's because the voices and the closed caption on the screen were kind of distracting me a little bit.
The version of this we did watch, it was on YouTube, and it simultaneously had the dub and a sub. Like Don, when I first watched this, I watched it straight Japanese raw. I couldn't understand a word, so I basically, had to just follow along the best I could. And I guess the next exposure I had to the Transformers was the dub. I think I actually saw it dubbed before I actually ever saw a fan sub. And I don't know if that really biases me toward the dub, but 10 to 1, I would much rather watch this dubbed than subbed. And that's it, 180 degrees out of phase with me with movies. If I'm watching a movie that's non-English, I want that movie subtitled. But the dub is so wonderful. It's so terrible, and it makes life worth living. I really love it. I love Galvatron's voice in this.
I love the fact that Six Shot is a ninja consultant.
From Cybertron.
Yes.
I also love, so this is the first episode, so it's the one that set up the series. So our favorite characters, obviously, the US and Japanese had different names. So Optimus was Convoy, Rodimus was Rodimus Convoy, or Hot Rodimus. Blaster was
Billy.
No. I mean, in Japanese, Blaster was Broadcast.
Broadcast.
Yeah. Soundwave was it Soundwave or Sound? What was Soundwave in Japanese? The Japanese name for Soundwave. It's escaped me for some reason.
It wasn't Sound Blaster.
Sound Blaster was the
When he was rebuilt, he was Sound Blaster.
Yeah, but basically in this, even though it didn't happen in the episode, when Soundwave was rebuilt, he was New Soundwave, which is why we have a podcast named New Soundwave. Blaster was Billy. Blur was Wally. Spike was Sparkle. Daniel was Danny. Any other major character name changes? I can't think of any. I love how Rodimus is typically, or Optimus, are typically just referred to as Leader.
Leader 1?
No,
Go Bucks?
just Leader. But I just love how absurd this dub is. And I really think that it adds a dimension to the Headmasters cartoon, which in and of itself is, while a great take or a great way to explain how the Headmasters exist and Target Masters exist, the series itself is, it's a continuation of G1 Season 3 with some things added onto it.
I would like to bring up the fact that Triptychon was defeated by Wheelie and Daniel.
Yes. Wheelie,
when he tried to walk over a suspension bridge.
Wheelie is such a little jerk in this.
And Daniel carries a gun.
Yeah.
And Daniel couldn't figure out what Wheelie was doing. He's like, "What are you doing?"
God, it's so great.